Hey, boys, look what I got here.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I've just had a disturbing thought. What if JJ is like the Reverend in the 80s Dragnet movie, where he also leads the pagans?
Mm-hmm.
So JJ could be like the head Klansman at the same time as like leading the opposition to it.
Or he's like the hotel manager in Scooby-Doo that's actually the ghoul.
There you go.
Chop it up, buddy. Chop it up.
I am totally going to chop it up. Yeah, so there you go.
That's what it actually looks like?
This is what it looks like. This is the doc itself. White supremacy at work, Jane.
Again, no effort put into this whatsoever. Look at it.
I know.
Oh, wait, the good robot team. Ooh. See, it is. He is. He's running good robot and he's running
Wait a minute.
robot.
Does it seriously say good? Don't lie to me. Does it say
does.
good
Look
robot
at the
team?
bottom of the page.
The good robot team.
The good robot team.
I hate you, J.J. Abrams. I hate you so very much. You are so condescending. You think you're a savior. You know what you are? You're the problem, man. You guys are the problem. Stop with this peddling of hatred and just try to bring people together. It's a freaking job. It's a job. Make sure there's enough pencils and ideas and maybe hire people that are creative. I don't know, no matter what gender they are. And if they turn out to be a racist prick, fire them. But this is so pretentious and such a douchey move. Oh, good robot my ass, J.J. Abrams. I fucking hate you.
This is so cheap too.
Oh, I know. Like, who did this? Liz Kid, put it together like, hey, print this out for me because I don't do any work. Find me 5 black people on Twitter that are trending that I could throw in here saying to follow.
Black and red. Where have we seen those colors before?
Right.
At Bad Robot, we are committed to storytellers and executives to dismantling white supremacy at work and at large. With this ever evolving and far from complete guide, we hope to share some resources to explore and navigate this time for ourselves and with each other as we strive to do the delicate, raw, humbling, and enraging work of anti-racism.
Oh, it's enraging, all right. It's enraging, JJ.
It's 20 pages.
It's exhausting, being humbling and enraging at the same time.
What'd you say, Jane? A 6 page? Oh, honey.
20 pages.
20. We're not going over all 20. But you'll see why.
I'm just thinking. So someone just threw this together in an afternoon.
Absolutely. In Community, the good robot team, and in
and that's why, Jane, they left it. Oh.
It's all right.
Go.
We're never going to get through this. In fine print, It says, we have provided attribution to our sources throughout the guide and thank the activists and scholars who have endeavored to consolidate this information. This guide draws from our networks, research, recommendations, and the anti-racism resources for white people.
Liar.
Lies. Hey, Steven,
this came from a Google search.
Steven, oh my God, that's perfect. Cut and paste. Steven, real quick, try to zoom in a little bit so when people are watching this, they can actually maybe see it better.
Is that better?
One more, I would say. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
These are the table of continents, and Jane, would you read off the?
I'm just so tired. So it says, if you have 5 to 10 minutes, apparently there's something on page 4. If you have 30 minutes, there's something on page 9. But guess what? If you have 60 minutes, there's more information for you on page 10.
You know, it's the best part. If you have 5 to 10 minutes, there's something that starts on page 4 and goes all the way to page 9. Right. But if you have 30 minutes, there's only one page. Like, you know what? I want to sit there and be like, how much time do I have to stop white supremacists? I got about 10 minutes. I guess I could do chapter 1,
It's like, is this how y'all did Star Wars? I'm getting a feeling that this is what went wrong.
We saw the board. We saw the board. If I see something about freaking space dinosaurs in here, I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
I wouldn't be shocked.
That's what happened. They only had 5 to 10 minutes. That's why they treated Finn the way they did. They didn't get around to chapter 3 or chapter 4.
Oh my God. If you have little ones in your life, they have some information for you on page 13.
How to indoctor those little ones.
Right.
If you're a manager.
Oh.
Then you move on to page 14, which you would think that would actually be the most important part if you're in a
Right.
position of power.
Right. Let's read that after we read.
But there's also how to help on page 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are, well, no, I thought there were several. Anti-racist vocabulary
I need to learn that.
on pages 19 and 20.
Yes.
They go through what is white supremacy, what is white privilege, what is implicit bias, what is systematic racism, what is anti-racism, what does it mean to be anti-racist, what is anti-blackness, which you probably should have started with, but okay. What is Black Lives Matter?
Put those guys last at the back of that's horrible.
The back of the bus.
They put them at the back of the bus. JJ, even when you're not trying, you're racist.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is why this is why they have a rampant problem here, apparently.
Now is that bolt? Is that bolt at the top? Is that supposed to be like the fist?
Yeah, that's a fist.
Yeah.
It's a robot fist.
Oh, Madonna mia.
A white robot fist.
A white robot fist.
Well, don't forget, because it's white people that are going to save everybody, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
wait a minute.
He's the savior. J.J. Abrams, J.J. Abrams, the savior of Black America.
There is no way that we're going to get through like 2 more pages.
Okay, but what is on this page?
I'm kind of curious on page 18 and 19. Yeah, we're going
let's do that after this.
What's listening on this page is a lot of blank space.
A lot of blank space.
This is a lot of blank space, Jane.
All right, let's read this one.
It says anti-racist.
No, but just where is the rest of it?
They didn't have time. Jane, they said it's a fluid thing. They'll be able to fit stuff in later.
Stream it together.
So terrible.
Anti-racist resources. The only way to undo racism is to consistently identify and describe it, and then dismantle it, writes Ibram X. Kendi, director of the Anti-Racist Research and Policy Center and author of How to Be an Anti-Racist. That is the essence of anti-racism, the action that must follow both emotional and intellectual awareness of racism.
You know who is an anti-racist? Jesus, and you want to cancel him.
Right.
Bad Robot is committed to providing our team with a comprehensive list of anti-racist resources that includes people to follow, films to watch, books to read, and other source information. We look forward to updating this list.
But none of it comes from our management.
This is
right.
We didn't have the time to even record a freaking voicemail for you guys.
Nope,
no policy changes. You know, nothing substantive, but
right. And then here's our list of indoctrination. This is the groupthink. This is the echo chamber you have to reinforce. These are the preferred people to follow, films to watch, books to read, and other sources of information. Anything else is racist.
Right. Don't do any research on your own.
No.
You know, because you might learn something we don't want you to learn.
If you have 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
We'll go through this one all later. We'll go through that later. We'll go.
Yeah, let's go to vocab.
What is it? 18,
19 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah, 19 and 20, I think, is where you get the definitions.
Oh, okay.
Anti-racist vocabulary. Yeah, that's what it is.
Anti-racist vocabulary.
Yes.
Oh, I got a feeling this is going to take a while. Knowledge is power. And in order for us to develop as anti-racists, we must continue to learn, relearn, and unlearn the history of the United States.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's really dangerous.
Well, I mean,
we must continue to learn, relearn, and unlearn the history of the United States. What hodgepodge of wording is that?
Maybe
talking about.
All right, so maybe he's trying to say is like learn. A lot of early American history was written by the conqueror, by the white man. I get that. So sometimes you need to unlearn what, like maybe I was taught in grammar school, that the Pilgrims and the Indians got along and everything was hunky dory. Nothing about what happened really later, or the devastation to the native people, or this or that, or you heard about slavery, but they don't. So I
already researched that. If you're an intelligent person, whether you've gone to university,
this isn't grammar school, right? This isn't grammar school. These are supposed to be educated people in the workforce. So they should already have freaking watched the History Channel once or twice on Memorial
Some
Day.
knowledge about the different types of the history of it's only the country's only 200 something years old, for God's sake. It's not a lot of information.
And that's another amazing thing about America is that when in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when the true history started coming out, not the candy, the powder puff, candy coated American Pie type of history, but true what happened in our history to get us here. There's no other country that is the number one powerhouse on the planet that would have allowed that. History was always written by the conqueror, and we're allowing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I full stopped. It was even mid-sentence. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
Particularly the history of racism and oppression in this country. Understanding the present-day embodiments of systemic racism will allow us to take action and make informed decisions about how we live, work, and dismantle white supremacy in our lives. Here is some foundational vocabulary to get yourself started. I hate Bad Robot. They are so distorted.
They have gone so far. Instead of this is a book about unity, this is a book about attacking white. So now you're saying, like, who are the white supremacists? Like, let's start pointing them out. Should we tag them? Like, who is what? Oh, wait a minute. You might have
one or two on the internet, but that's about all I've seen. Ever since what happened in Charlottesville. It's the last time I've seen a large gathering anywhere. You figure the news would be showing them all the time, but instead they gave us the Covington kids.
Right. Who were cut up and doctored.
Right.
Doctored. Those kids were doctored. That kid had a smirk on his face because he had no clue what the hell to do. When someone walks up to you and gets in your face beating a drum, you're a kid. What are you supposed to do?
After you've been listening to the Black Israelites who were saying some pretty nasty, so that's a whole other situation.
And then the fucking media docks you. Underage kid docks you.
And I just, you know what? I'm sick of it at this point. This has nothing to do with this is all division and hate. This has nothing to do with unification, bringing everyone together, taking steps to actually make anything better. This is virtue signaling times 1,000.
That's all it is.
Plus, here is the preferred indoctrination we'd like you to consume so that you can capitulate to the groupthink. All right. All right. What is white supremacy? Let's see. The idea that white people and the ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and actions of white people are superior to people of color, and to the rest of the world. You've lumped everyone else in the rest of the world into one group again, and their ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. While most people associate white supremacy with extremist groups like the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazis, white supremacy is ever present in our institutional and cultural assumptions that assign value, morality, goodness, and humanity to a white group while casting people and communities of color as worthless, immoral, bad, and inhuman, and undeserving. These motherfuckers who wrote this thing so good of themselves, they think they are the cream of the crop and that they are better than everybody else, because only a person who thinks in those terms could write that paragraph.
That's to me, the person who wrote this is the racist.
Is absolutely. Yep. They're better than everybody else. They know every time they go to the store and they see somebody else acting the fool or acting in a way that they weren't brought up, the culture they weren't brought up in, that person is acting the fool. And 9.99 times out of 10 in that person's life, this person has looked at a person of color, someone who doesn't look like them, and thought that it's because that is why they are acting the fool.
That is exactly it.
Fucking person.
That's why they came up with such a ridiculous definition that only is one paragraph. I mean, these are complex concepts.
Very complex.
And it takes entire history books that have been written on these subject matters. I can't. Ugh. It's just so stupid.
It's the racist pointing the finger at everyone else and saying racist.
So some of these definitions are like one sentence or two sentences. You can tell that there was no effort put into any of it.
This is water cooler talk.
Don't look at us. Don't look at us. Don't look at us. Not us.
Yes. Yeah.
See, here you go.
Right. It's virtue signaling. It's one of those things where they're saying we didn't put any effort in this, but guess what? we're better than most other companies and you should support us. Because stuff like this, what is white supremacy? If you have reached this type of career, you most likely have a 4-year degree. And if you haven't figured out from history classes, from life experience, what a white supremacist is, maybe not the history of it, but what they are, well, then you're a freaking moron and you should probably not be able to drive a car.
Called the entire population white supremacists. Like, it's really what you just did. You just said
American.
Right, everybody. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at under systematic racism. It's literally here. Go look at this other stuff.
Right.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about systems maybe in our own. See, that's the whole take responsibility. The problem I have with that whole concept. You really don't want to take responsibility, because if you did, you would be talking about what you did from your own experience, from within your own company. No, this is just, look over here. We're not racist.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But we're not going to tell you how, but go look over there.
Right.
This is the Hollywood industry. This is what Kelly Tran was talking about in her op-ed last year. This is them feeling guilty and going, "Don't blame us." Just like you said, Jane. Don't blame us. Don't look at us. Don't burn our stuff down. They're going to virtue signal everything. That this is all echo chamber. Just like she said, it's like a couple sentences in each of these definitions. This is water cooler talk. This is what they've been emailing each other about for the last several years. Right. This is Hollywood culture, not the rest of America.
This is cut and paste off of Google. We got to throw something together, so we're the first company that does it.
Right.
Yeah. We heard that this is what's going on. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we don't want people to think we're that, so we're going to come up with this document and put it out into the world. Ooh, look at us! Look at how good we are.
Well, this is coming from the same guy who the Me Too movement his wife was involved with. Somehow she rised up in the company because of somebody being Me Too'd out. Look into it. You got to do your own research sometimes, people. But she, a Me Too movement should be to help female victims of and what it really was a step up for the fucking Abrams. It was a step up in their lifestyle. It was a job. We just became 3 levels higher in the company because that's all that was a witch hunt. Believe all women until Joe Biden gets pointed out. And then, well, you know what? You believe the woman, but you got to take the guy into consideration. Hypocrites, all of them.
This should be offensive to people. I mean, this should be offensive to Black people too, because it's
to
just
all people.
It's fake.
It really should.
It's smoke and mirrors.
It is. And you know what? We're all of us are tired, and I'm going to shut this down. We're going to go through the rest of this at some other time. If you're able to, Wes, you're welcome to come back and continue this conversation with us.
We should do it after Saturday's show. I'm not going to be there. Damn it.
Well, whenever we have time, we'll figure it out. I'd like to have Lorena come in and talk a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. Well,
I got to get some sleep, guys.
I know you guys getting some sleep. Thank you very much.
Wes.
Hey, thanks guys for having me on. This is awesome.
Love you, Steven. Thank you, Jane. Bye.
Good night, guys.
See you later. Good night, guys. I guess I'm going to end the broadcast. They left before I even got finished ending the broadcast. So I was going to give them outros and everything, but they said, nah. Thank you guys for showing. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'll be continuing this conversation because there's a lot of data to go through, a lot of information to go through with this, this heinous, this look into how Hollywood thinks, how these companies think, how the people at Bad Robot think. Who are the real racists here? Who are they? The ones who can't see outside their bubble? Because as far as I'm considered, this looks like a manifesto of personal guilt. Hail to everybody in the chat. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Be good to each other. Peace.
Hail, my brothers and sisters in the chat. Hail the Fandom Menace. It is the Fandom Menace historian, your Fandom Menace historian, born in the chats with my brothers and sisters, letting you know that the Fandom Menace Volume 1, A Fandom Betrayed, is back in demand. You can pick up this first edition book on Indiegogo for a limited time. Here's a comment from someone well respected in our community, Shellback, commenting on the importance of the Fandom Menace Volume 1.
Get on Indiegogo and order a copy of that damn book, or you're an effing retard. Okay, that's yeah.
Pick up your copy today.